Hey, what are you spacing out for? Are you reaching your limit too?
How long have we been walking for? Do you remember?
Time's lost all meaning. Ever since we noticed that thing above our heads. What was it called again?
A star key? Or key star? Anyway, the person who named it was swallowed by the black mist.
Whatever it's called, ever since we noticed it, we've been walking up and up, hoping that as long as we reach it, we can find a way out of this place. But it seems like no matter how far we walk, we never get any closer.
Well, we've come this far. You never know. Maybe we're almost there? Come on, enough moping. Let's go. The black mist is catching up.
Fine.
Hey, tough guy.
Watch out!
Not again! I've lost count of how many times we run into them. Be careful.
Hey, tough guy.
Cryostorm! Here. Condense!
All right, here comes another one.
Here they come again!
You wanna fight?
Ready?
Let's go.
Backup is here. Cryostorm!
Second thoughts?
All right, here comes another one.
Monsters ahead of us. The black mist behind us. It feels like there's no escape.
Fine.
Mighty Cross!
Shut up. Run faster.
Cryostorm! Learned!
Are you hurt, Coolish?
No, I'm fine. It's just... suddenly I don't want to walk any further.
I get you. In fact, I reached my limit a long time ago. Sometimes it feels like there's hope where there shouldn't be.
Yeah. The hope that the star gives us is the only thing keeping us going. But I'm not sure it's real at all. It may just be a collective illusion. Otherwise, why would it always be out of reach?
We know you mean well, but you're only saying that to try and encourage us to keep going, aren't you?
Thank you, friend. But enough is enough. Please don't give me any more false hope. Hope is poison in this place. You're going to continue aren't you? I admire that. I've given up, but I wish you the best. May there come a day that you catch up to the star and leave this godforsaken place.
It's not an illusion. We really are getting closer to the star.
Congratulations. You're the first person to make it here. I'm the star's envoy. The black mist has stopped rising. Its hunger is satisfied for now, having devoured your two companions. This is a good opportunity. I'll let you get some rest before we continue. What do you mean, leave? The star represents the starting point. It's the waypoint for the beginning. Congratulations on reaching the starting point. Once you are ready, we will head out and walk upwards. I will be right by your side the whole way. Huh? What's wrong? Hey, don't give up before the journey's even begun.
Is that Vodyanitsa's voice? What happened?
Coolish, wake up! Please wake up!
The situation is identical to that of the two casualties yesterday. We cannot ascertain the cause of death.
At least there are some elements that we can rule out this time. They slept on the stage with everyone else. So I suppose the surrounding environment can't be a relevant variable.
Rampana. Coolish.
Weren't some of us keeping watch last night? 3 of us, in fact. How could you not notice something was wrong?
I'm as confused as you are. Certainly nothing unusual happened on my watch.
Likewise, and from what I've observed so far, both Miss Odette and the Traveler can be trusted.
To be honest, I didn't get a wink of sleep last night. I couldn't help but think I was the target, so I just laid there with my eyes closed. I heard the Traveler and Lelik chatting, but otherwise I don't recall hearing any commotion during the night.
Me too. I didn't want to wake everyone up, so I was concentrating hard, trying not to cough. I hardly slept at all. If anything had happened, I'm sure I would have noticed.
Then, what could possibly be causing this? Once was bad enough. I can't believe it happened again. I worked closely with Rampana and Coolish for so long. I never imagined that one day they'd... And on this stage of all places...
Florianitsa. 4 victims in just 2 days, and we still don't have a single lead. I need to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible. And above all, keep Tonya safe. I'd never be able to look Child in the eye again otherwise.
Still snowing?
Yes, I just checked. Still no sign of anyone outside either.
So we only have ourselves to rely on.
If you ask me, this killer can clearly strike whenever they please. The Night Watch was a useless endeavor from the start. Lelik must be an expert in poisoning. Clearly she used some poison that can't be detected on the corpse.
Here we go again.
Listen, I was already thinking to myself last night, was Lelik's reason for revealing her identity the real story? Well, now I have my answer. It most certainly was not. She's been playing us for fools. You get off on this, don't you? Revealing your identity, only to carry on with your killing spree?
That's a hideous thought. One that only a hideous mind like yours could dream up.
How dare you?
That's enough! Yesterday, you named Lelik as a suspect because the victims were both wealthy merchants. Lelik might have had a motive then, but today's victims were just ordinary people. Not to mention that they were colleagues of Odette and mine. What reason would she have to murder them? Let me guess, just to scare you?
Who knows? Maybe you don't know her as well as you think. I implore you all to ask yourselves, how many people are there really in this world that have what it takes to kill another person? Not many, I'd wager. Lelik is well known to be a ruthless operator, and now she has revealed her identity. How could it be any more obvious?
Everything you've said so far is still just conjecture, which doesn't constitute a concrete lead. You need to back up your claims with some evidence.
How can you defend her, officer? What did she say to you while you were on Night Watch? Maybe I shouldn't be so surprised. You military types are always colluding with criminals to target the rich. All so you can get your grubby paws on our hard-earned fortunes, then tell us to fall in line. The Fatui, the Druzhna, and the Rokot. Thugs, the lot of you! Don't you dare!
Sir, but... You were the one who told us not to stop other people from expressing their opinions yesterday. 4 people have already died. Only yesterday I was chatting with Mr. Coolish. Then we woke up in the morning and he's... Turning against one another is the last thing we should be doing right now.
Little girl.
Even if Mr. Chuganov is a puffed-up, pig-headed windbag who doesn't have a clue what he's talking about, he's still one of the victims here, isn't he?
Quite.
I had no intention of resorting to violence. But you're right, Miss Tonya. I ought not prevent him from speaking his mind. In any case, I believe Mr. Chuganov has calmed down a little now. We may resume our discussion.
I don't think there's any need for that. What is there to discuss? Nothing about this situation is normal.
Did you have an idea, Mitya? You're the brainiac here, right? Come on, clue us in.
I've been mulling something over. All the leads we have so far concern things from outside the theater. Miss Odette's alter ego, the threats Mr. Chuganov received. But then there's the 2 double murder crime scenes themselves, which have given us absolutely nothing to go on whatsoever. That's highly unusual. Even with the most careful killers, there's always some evidence left behind.
So what are you suggesting?
I think this could be a supernatural event. It isn't characteristic of human-on-human homicide at all.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't you supposed to be a scientist? That doesn't sound like a conclusion someone like you is supposed to make.
I got into scientific research because of my insatiable curiosity. But if the present situation defies all known scientific explanations, I don't mind shifting my curiosity toward the paranormal instead.
Now that you mention it, I remember when I first came to the theater. I heard rumors about this place being haunted. Haunted?
Yeah, I think I heard the same thing. But I mean, they're only rumors, right? We've worked here for years. Surely we would have noticed any spooky goings-on by now.
Well, this has taken an unexpected turn. A haunted theater? If Paimon were here, she'd probably be hiding behind me in fear right now.
Why don't we take this opportunity to look for clues again with a more open mind? Maybe a different perspective will help us see something different.
Very well. Whether it's criminals or ghosts we're looking for, the same rules apply. Everyone needs to tread carefully. I'll move the bodies into the same room for now.
Ah, Traveler. Since you're here, come take a look at this.
Alosha found it. We're both curious to hear your perspective. It appears to be well, an investigation report. And the focus of the investigation was the rumors of haunting we heard about earlier.
An investigation report, huh? Looks quite old. Huh. This person's name looks to be of Sumeru origin to me. Was the investigator from Sumeru?
The theater manager must have hired an investigator once specifically to look into this issue. But it doesn't look like anyone ever looked at the report.
Presumably, the manager wanted to know if the supposed haunting was dangerous, while also being fearful of word getting out in case it affected the theater's business. Anyway, the bottom line is, the haunting is actually real after all. It's caused by an obstruction in the ley lines. Is there any chance this is the key to finally making some progress with the murder cases?
Leyline problems are pretty unexceptional to me by this point. And while it certainly offers an explanation for the ghosts, it's hard to imagine what connection it could have to these two murder cases.
Some of the language that appears at the very end of the report caught my eye. Angel civilization, leyline renovation? My area of research doesn't touch on any of that, so it's completely outside of my wheelhouse. Huh? A piece of paper just fell out from the report. It landed right by your feet. How unnerving. It was tucked inside the report, so it must be a note left by the author. Death is near. Is that supposed to be what's going on here? With us, in the theater? But if so, how did the author foresee it? Could he predict the future somehow?
Maybe things are more complicated than we thought.
No, wait a second. If we take the report and the note at face value, they completely contradict one another. The report definitively concludes that the hauntings in the theater are harmless and cannot affect the real world. But the note seems to be warning of potential danger. The question is, what exactly does the note mean by death? The various ways we could interpret this keyword lead in completely different directions. Let's pause our analysis here for now. I think we need more information.
Valeri, come take a look at this. You too, Traveler.
Some sort of notebook. What is it for?
It's the on-duty logbook for the theater. Coolish was the main person to use it. He mostly used it to record any unusual incidents during a show, audience numbers, exit times, and so on. Yes, he'd always have this logbook with him when he checked tickets at the entrance.
This should confirm a lot of key details about the recent show. So, you find anything unusual?
Yes. The number of people. I've checked and double-checked, but the numbers just don't match what's recorded in the logbook. Apparently, we have an extra person among us.
Are we certain that logbook is accurate? Could someone have sneaked in without buying a ticket or something?
Unlikely. Coolish took his duties very seriously. I've rarely seen any errors in his work. Not to mention that this was a dress rehearsal, meaning smaller audience numbers and tighter ticket restrictions than usual. Everything would have been well within his control.
We no longer have our tickets with us, do we? They got collected on entry. I assume there's no way we can check them again.
Unfortunately not. The theater recycles tickets. Once people are in the door, they don't tend to leave until the show ends, so we collect the tickets at the point of entry. Still, I'm inclined to believe that this discrepancy in the head count is significant somehow.
Did an extra person just materialize out of thin air?
Tonya? Did you find anything?
Not yet. Still looking. So... Are we supposed to be looking for something paranormal? I think I'd prefer teaming up with you than looking around on my own.
This looks like somebody's notebook. Shall we read it together?
Well, it doesn't look scary or anything, so I guess it should be fine. All right, let's read it together.
Huh. This has to be Vodyanitsa's writing, surely.
Maybe it's a little rude for us to peek at this. I feel like I just read someone's secret diary by accident. It sounds like she's writing this for her parents, right? I don't understand. Why put this stuff in a notebook instead of mailing it in a letter?
Because her water imp parents belonged to the aristocracy, who were driven out of Snezhnaya by the Tsaritsa long ago. And now they live somewhere new, where the postman can't get to.
We're sorry!
It's fine. My fault for not storing it properly. I can't leave things lying around and expect them to get ignored when everyone's scouring the place for clues. All right, give me my notebook back. I'll take over the investigation in this room.
If we take all this together, it's not impossible, is it? If anything, it's the natural conclusion.
Oh, I beg to differ. This sounds to me like a product of a researcher's vivid imagination. And perhaps it's because I'm still viewing this through the lens of a typical murder investigation. But still, I'm struggling to be persuaded by your theory.
Does it really sound that far-fetched? All right, well, let's treat that as speculation for now. I do agree with what you've said, so let's go with your idea for now.
Good. Okay, now that we finally have some meaningful leads, I think it's time to reconvene. Let's get the others. So, that's about everything we've discovered so far. I'll share my theory first. Based on what we've learned from the logbook, I believe the extra person among us is most likely the killer. If the killer had simply bought a ticket, it would have greatly increased the risk of their identity being exposed. I expect he or she either hid in the theater ahead of time, or found a way to slip past the ticket inspection. They then blended in with the group and waited for an opportunity to strike.
What about the note found in the investigation report? Any thoughts on how that fits in?
The killer may have simply planted it there as some sort of sick joke. I've seen my fair share of psychopathic killers. They love playing cryptic mind games.
So, it has nothing to do with the haunting of the theater after all.
This theory makes sense to me. If we have an audience member unaccounted for, chances are they didn't come here to watch the show.
Could it really be that simple?
So, in other words, all we have to do is find out who got in here without a ticket, and all our problems will be solved? Then let me make one thing clear. All the theater staff should be well aware that I came here for the rehearsal legitimately, yes? There's no way I'm the one who didn't have a ticket.
It's true. I hear you used every trick in the book to get a hold of that ticket, too. Everything short of throwing a temper tantrum and rolling around on the floor at the entrance.
I most certainly did not degrade myself in such a way.
Probably a stupid question, but I might as well ask. Did anyone here get in without having their ticket checked?
Hmm?
Guess it was naive of me to expect them to just admit to it.
Especially after the unprompted Lelik reveal. Once was already a miracle. Twice would be unfathomable.
I don't believe any of us here knew Shram before all this. If no one can verify Shram's identity... Mr. Shram, did you really go through the ticket inspection to get in here?
Huh? Me? Why am I being singled out, my friend? Do I seem that suspicious?
It's not that you stand out as suspicious, more that everyone else has been ruled out as trustworthy.
Okay. Well, we spent the best part of 2 days together now, so I'm sure you can all tell what kind of person I am. I'm a true gentleman. I never dream of doing something like sneaking to the theater without a ticket.
Yeah, I have no doubt that you're a good person. But the problem is, none of us here actually know you, so no one can say for sure that you are who you claim to be. Although, actually, what was it you said last night? Yeah, you're friends with that water imp, which is why you understand our primary mode of expression. Last time I checked, there were barely any of us remaining in Snezhnaya, since most of the water imps left. Could you tell me a little bit more about your friend? There's a good chance I actually know her. And I suppose it's also kind of a way for everyone else to get to know you a little better.
Good grief. Are you blushing? Pull yourself together, man. Stop giggling like a teenage boy. It's revolting.
Hey, revolting is a little strong. All right, fine. I'll admit it. That water imp friend of mine, the truth is, we're dating. I was just a bodyguard hired by our family. But the stars must have aligned because sparks began to fly between me and their daughter. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd get so lucky.
We don't need details. Just get to the point.
Okay. I'm just a little hesitant to reveal her name, that's all. You know how it is. These are delicate times. Even with me to protect her. If word gets out that she's dating a human, both the Fae and human factions will give her a hard time.
Really? Wait, no. That can't be.
Huh? Shram, what the devil are you talking about?
Why is everyone looking at me like that? Surely you can understand where I'm coming from.
Delicate times? Factions?
Yes? You know, the Civil War? Last time I checked, the Fae and the humans were still at each other's throats.
If I'm not mistaken, the last significant civil war in Snezhnaya history was over 400 years ago, when Her Majesty the Tsaritsa had just taken the throne and was consolidating her reign.
What do you mean, 400 years ago?
What's going on here? Is Shram from the past?
All right, Mr. Mitya, you win this round. As far-fetched as it is, it appears that your theory may be correct.
I'm just as amazed as you are. I didn't even believe it myself, to be honest.
Is someone going to explain what's going on here?
From the look on your face, you figured it out too, haven't you, Traveler?
No. The truth lies within the clues we've already discovered. Vodyanitsa's private letter touches upon the history of the Water Imp aristocracy's exile, but reveals nothing about Shram's identity. The theater's ley lines have been modified to block souls within its grounds from returning to them. Some souls can even wander this place forever. Mr. Shram's statement proves he's from hundreds of years ago. And according to the investigation report on the theater hauntings, Mr. Shram is very likely a lost soul wandering the theater. This is Mr. Valeri's hypothesis. If there is no supernatural element to this incident, it's very likely to be true. That's not it. If that's the case, we're back to square one. I don't think I'm that redundant. For some unknown reason, the soul that has been wandering the theater due to the leyline issues has joined our group and blended in. Yeah, that must be the immediate reason why the ticket count doesn't match the number of people present. death of those victims is an irrefutable fact. It is the outcome of whatever's going on here. What we need to do now is find the truth within this information. Since we discovered that Mr. Schramm is from the past, it seems we need to broaden our assessment of this incident beyond the bounds of common sense. All of last night, Lelek, that is, Odette, was under surveillance, which rules her out. We've basically proven Lelek's innocence. The contents of the investigation report have been verified. There are indeed ley line issues and wandering souls in the theater. Death likely symbolizes the deceased. Mr. Schramm, for instance. Death is near. Huh. That must mean that there's a dead person in our midst. That's the truth, isn't it?
Yeah, the logic is clear now. The investigation report said that there would be souls stuck wandering around the theater because the ley lines were cut off. Mr. Schramm must be one such soul who died in the theater a long time ago. In which case, that also makes him our extra person. So when the note said death is near, it must have been referring to death as in the deceased, people who died a long time ago.
Someone who died a long time ago.
In short, there's a dead person among us. The extra person we've been searching for is a ghost from the past.
You mean I'm a ghost? No. Don't make jokes like that, my man. There must be some mistake. But even if I was dead, I know for a fact I didn't kill anyone these past 2 nights.
Yeah, even if all that's true, the report also said the souls inside the theater can't affect reality, right? They're harmless.
Then what if the problem isn't the souls at all, but the ley lines themselves? The ley lines have a powerful ability to attract and devour souls. Let's say that the ley lines are like a black hole, constantly seeking to engulf souls. But the souls that don't want to return are trying to avoid being sucked in.
Huh. Why does this analogy sound so familiar?
What happens when the black hole can't achieve its goal? I'm only speculating here, but what if it ended up swallowing innocent souls by mistake? Or intentionally taking other souls to compensate?
That could explain why we weren't able to determine a cause of death. If you're right, and their souls were devoured by the ley lines, it does make some sense.
It does seem to explain a lot of the things we couldn't make sense of. Does that mean it's true?
Except there's no concrete evidence. Mitya is relying on a lot of logical leaps. Still, it seems like the best explanation we have under the circumstances.
All right, so how could Schramm not know that he's dead? Seems a little unlikely that he hasn't noticed anything unusual even after several days interacting with us.
On the contrary, it's perfectly normal for a soul to wander the theater for centuries without questioning their existence or reason for being there. It's simply what's natural for them.
You know what, Mr. Brainiac? I think you might actually be right after all. I'm trying to remember and... even though my head feels like it's going to explode, I think... it's all coming back to me. I was the one who didn't want to remember my own death, so I forced myself to forget.
Well, I'm sure those are painful memories.
My lady and I snuck out to go on a date one day. We bought tickets for the theater. It wasn't really my thing, but I was just happy to be together. All of a sudden, a group of people burst into the theater, shouting for all the water imps to get out, performers and audience members included. It was clear the conflict between humans and Fae had reached a boiling point. This time, the extremists were even coming after the water imps who had nothing to do with the war. I thought I could pull one over on them, so I took off my jacket, draped it over my lady, and tried to sneak out amid the chaos. But I got caught. They started shouting, calling me a traitor to humanity. But I was going to do whatever it took to buy her a chance to escape, no matter how many people stood in my way. I had to, both as her bodyguard and out of love.
It's all right, friend. You can stop there if you want. You don't need to dig all that up again.
It's just... Even now, I'm still struggling to accept the truth. How could I be dead? I'm sorry, everyone. If I'd known I was a dead man walking, I wouldn't have dragged you down with me. If I'm the cause of all this death, then punish me however you see fit.
But, Mr. Shrim...
No. I refuse to be a burden. I know what I have to do. You said I've been wandering the theater for centuries, right? I guess it's high time I got a breath of fresh air. Out there, I mean. I'll leave this place, and take all this death with me. Go out on my own terms.
Mr. Shram, I'm sure we can figure out a different course of action.
My good sir, we both know I'm not supposed to be here. I should have accepted my death long ago. One way or another, this has to end. Unless you're saying this goes against another one of your military principles somehow.
No, I'm speaking on a personal level this time.
Let it go, man. Oh, wait. One last thing. Miss Wateramp. My lover. Her name was Litia. Litia Ozarova. Do you know what happened to her?
Ozarova. Oh, Auntie Ozarova. That's what we all called her. I remember her as a very kind elder. She had a bunch of kids, too.
I'm so glad she survived. And she had lots of kids? Good. That's... good. I could hardly expect her to stay single just because of what happened to me, right? As long as she went on to be happy, that's all that matters. Besides, I'm dead. My soul's been wandering around here for so long because I was worried about her. But now, I can go without regret. There's no need to see me off, my friends. I've enjoyed our time together over these past few days. Perhaps we'll meet again in the next life.
Take care, my man.
I knew Mr. Shrim was already dead, but... I still feel so sad.
Death is cruel, no matter how we might try to make sense of it.
So, was the conflict between Fae and humans really that bad back then? I was only little, so I don't remember much. It's terrible to think that so many innocent people had their lives turned upside down. Even the historical records about that time period don't say much about it. All people know is that the Tsaritsa founded the Fatui, drove out most of the Fae aristocracy without explanation, then used her terrifying power to suppress the humans.
It seems to me like the Tsaritsa chose to make herself the enemy. She downplayed the conflict, directing whatever animosity both sides had for each other at herself instead. That's also why, despite how brutal the conflict was at the time, there hasn't been much lingering tension between humans and Fae since. Things have been fairly harmonious for the past few centuries.
So, the Tsaritsa banished the Fae to protect the Fae living in the city? She offered herself up to be hated in exchange for peace.
Maybe it's not quite as bad as it sounds. I don't think Her Majesty is too concerned if mortals hate her or not. And besides, there are very few who truly do.
All this time, I had no idea.
All right. If Mitya's theory is correct, then I think we can consider this matter settled. Let's all take a break.
Ugh, if only this blasted storm wasn't still raging on. I was actually planning on hiring him as my bodyguard after we got out of here, you know. Oh, poor guy.
Even though Shram was already deceased, his decision to walk into the snowstorm was still a sacrifice, and a very brave one.
This is one of the few times I don't feel at all happy to have my theory proven true.
At least the lingering regret that kept him here has been put to rest. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, at least it seems like Mr. Shram stayed optimistic until the end.
The information he revealed, it's given me a lot to think about.
Looks like now we can just rest until the snowstorm stops. I still can't believe Shram turned out to be a ghost who'd been in the theater for hundreds of years. To think he was dead this whole time. What a strange turn of events.
Knock knock.
Hmm?
Knock knock.
You know the door isn't closed, right? You don't have to knock.
Think of it as a signal then. When I'm entering someone else's room and I knock, I'm here as Odette. If I don't knock, it's Lelik. Thanks.
So, why did you come to find me? Is there something I can help with?
Vodyanitsa said you knew about my secret identity from the start. But when everyone was discussing who Lelik could be, you were worried that revealing what you knew would be unfair to me, so you kept it to yourself, right? Yes, I'm extremely grateful for that.
It's nothing. I mean, you didn't hold what happened with Senora against me, so I should thank you for that as well.
Actually, there's something else as well. I found myself in a situation similar to the one you were in when you helped conceal my identity. So I thought I'd come and ask you for advice. It's about Mitya. Before all of this, the last time I saw him, he was dead. As I'm sure you know, my goal as Lelik was to stop Project Snezhnaya. Well, when I found out the tech lead for the experiment behind Project Snezhnaya was Mitya, I immediately started planning to track him down and threaten him to back out. I often saw him around the theater, but I soon concluded that making my move there would risk exposing my identity. So I decided to infiltrate the Armory Palace and go directly to his lab. That way, the threat would be much more effective. Well, I suppose there was a bit of luck involved. But I am a Fatus, so I already had some familiarity with the building's layout. But when I finally made it to his lab, Mitya seemed to be dead. I checked his breathing and his pulse. He had no vital signs whatsoever. I'm certain of that. I thought maybe another anti-Project Snezhnaya activist had beaten me to it, and chosen a much more brutal method. So I made myself scarce.
That's why you were so on guard around Mitya that first night here.
Yes. When I saw him sitting in the audience during the performance, I could barely contain the shock. To me, it was a miracle. Somehow, he'd come back from the dead. But then, The murder started happening and things got so complicated that it wasn't really at the front of my mind. That is, until Mitya himself said there must be a dead person among us. Then I couldn't ignore it any longer.
And yet, you thought that bringing it up right away would single Mitya out. Just like when everyone was suspecting Lelek.
Exactly. I thought there could be something I was missing. Besides, we soon figured out that Mr. Schramm was a ghost. And we knew there was only one extra person. So we thought he had to be the one.
But now it seems like there's another candidate. I understand why you kept it to yourself. There was so much information being thrown around during that discussion. Bringing up Mitya would have just introduced more confusion.
So, what do you think we should do?
Let me confirm one thing first. When was it that you found Mitya dead?
Around a week ago. Sometime in the afternoon.
A week ago? That's earlier than I thought. I saw him just a few days ago at a restaurant. That definitely would have been after you found him dead. He seemed completely normal to me. Chatting with Vodjanitsa, trying to avoid Valeri.
So he was definitely alive on that day. Huh. Well, all I can say is I know what I saw.
Here's a thought. The reason we even suspected a dead person could be among us was because of the problem with the theater's ley lines. But Mitya's death happened inside the Armory Palace. The ley line issue affecting the theater shouldn't reach that far.
You're right. I guess he doesn't fit the profile of the person we were searching for.
I think the chances of it being him are very low. Surely he can't have died for real in the Armory Palace. Unless...
Unless what?
Unless he really did come back from the dead.
You're right. Do you think we need to disclose this to the others?
Huh, what's this? A private meet and greet? Where do I line up?
That's not what's going on here.
Well, I was just making the rounds. Thought I'd try to lighten the mood a bit. Vodjanitsa's handing out food if you're hungry.
What is going on with this storm? Could it be connected to that monster that just arrived in Snezhnaya?
I almost hope it is. Her Majesty the Tsaritsa left to vanquish that beast herself. We just need to wait for her triumphant return.
Do you think people still feel the cold after they die? I'm wondering about Schramm. Oh, maybe we should have given him a coat before he went out there.
Death itself is cold, isn't it? I'm sure the storm will embrace him.
Well, I hope he has a safe journey. I'm going to miss him, I think. It's not like we can blame him for Rampana and Kulish's deaths. Thinking back on it, we barely made it out alive ourselves. Once we get out of here, how are we going to explain what happened to their families?
Are you okay? Here, take this. I've never used it.
Thanks. Look who's Mr. Nice Guy all of a sudden. Is it because Tonya stood up for you this morning? At least you know how to return a favor.
Yeah, without Tonya, who knows how badly he would have been hurt.
I told you already, I never intended to resort to violence.
Duh, bunch of rascals. Little girl? I was rather surprised when you spoke up for me this morning. I didn't think I had many admirers here, so, thank you.
Oh, no need to thank me. I said some bad stuff about you too.
I've been, too embarrassed to admit it, but, you remind me a lot of my daughter. So kind to everyone, but never lets her old man off the hook. Unless my wife and I are having a fight, then she's always on my side. Especially when she was little. Every time I took her out... All right, easy now. How long have you had that cough, Tonya?
I don't know. It's probably been a while. I'm fine.
Are you taking anything for it?
Yeah. I'll be fine once I see my brother. He's gonna pick some frost fairy flower leaves and brew a tonic for me. I'll feel much better once I drink that.
I see. That's good to hear, then.
We should probably discuss arrangements for tonight. Now that the deceased has left our midst, there shouldn't be any more incidents. However, out of an abundance of caution, I'll keep watch.
Shouldn't we take shifts? I can take one if needed.
No need. I managed to get a nap in earlier, so I have plenty of energy right now. After all the tension of the past few days, everyone else should just focus on getting a good night's sleep.
What a long day. This whole situation turned out to be way more complicated than I expected. But Valeri's right. I should just try to calm down and get some rest. The last thing I want is to give myself nightmares.
She's awake. She's awake! Get over here, you big lug, and take a look!
If you must call me something, call me Mr. Door. The Black Mist is coming. You need to go.
Are you all right? Can you walk? We just got attacked by monsters on our way up. That Mr. Door fellow protected us. He just seemed to come out of nowhere. Not much of a talker, but when it comes to taking down monsters, that man doesn't hold back. Curses! The Black Mist is catching up to us. We need to keep going. Mr. Door, I don't believe I've ever seen you around here before. Why is that?
There's no need to try to get to know me. I'm just Mr. Door. I have to find the door that belongs to me.
Oh. Well, anyway, we're lucky to... Mr. Door!
Looking for trouble?
Get rid of them!
I can just push these ones off. No need to thank me. This is where my duty lies.
Second thoughts? What the?
So we're doing this the hard way. You win this one.
Remarkable work, Mr. Door. Oh, if I had your muscles, I'd do the same. Are none of these doors the one you're looking for?
No.
Come no closer. Condense and crystallize.
Oh, goodness me!
Impossible.
Fighting frost!
Impossible.
I'm so exhausted. And the Black Mist is still rising. Oh, Wait, look! There's more monsters down there. Are they coming from within the black mist? No, no! They're gaining on us! Quick, keep going, or they'll be at our heels any second! Mr. Door, what are you doing? We need to get out of here. They're coming!
Found it. This is my door.
What? You mean you're going to stay here?
I am a door. This is where my duty lies.
No! You saved us. We can't leave you behind.
You must keep going. A door can only keep things out for so long. You must make haste.
But... Oh, you're right. Let's go. We can't let Mr. Door's sacrifice be in vain. The black mist isn't moving anymore. Looks like both the monsters and Mr. Door are gone. I didn't just imagine all that, did I? Surely I wasn't so scared out of my mind that I hallucinated a door as a human being. Oh, okay, good. There's no way we both hallucinated the same thing. Getting sleepy? Well, looks like we're safe for now. Go ahead. Let's get some rest.
What time is it? Is it morning? I think I had a nightmare. Oh, I guess everyone's still asleep. These past 2 days have been exhausting. Valeri's keeping watch though, so he's probably the only one awake. Valeri?
Wake up! Everyone needs to wake up!
Just like the last 2 nights. No clear cause of death. I've been a real thorn in your side, haven't I, Mr. Valeri? Now you can rest in peace. But for me, life will be all the duller for not having to run away from you, my friend.
How's Tonya? Is she okay?
I just checked on her, and it doesn't seem like anything serious. She's just exhausted from the past couple of days, and she's still recovering from her illness. We should let her sleep a bit longer.
That means Valeri was the only one who died last night.
If Valeri was awake and keeping watch, it would have been impossible to kill him without waking everyone else up. That much is certain.
This is so frustrating. Why has nothing changed since yesterday? I thought we already dealt with the dead person causing all this.
Actually, one thing has changed. There's only one victim this time, not 2. Does that mean...
But Mr. Shram was already deceased to start with. That doesn't seem very likely. Can a death at night even be defended against? This logic seems baseless to me. No similar cases have ever been confirmed, so this theory doesn't seem to hold up. After the deceased Shram left, there was one less victim last night. That more or less tracks. It's a reasonable conclusion, considering the only variable that changed. Oh. The number of people who die each night is equivalent to the number of dead among us. That's your theory, right?
Exactly. We identified Mr. Shram, and the night after he left, the death toll dropped from 2 to 1. By that logic, there must be one more dead person left among us.
Another one? But there was only one person unaccounted for in the ticket checks, right? The head count should match up now.
Having an extra person was definitely a cause for alarm, but being one person short isn't nearly as unusual. Someone could have left in the middle of the show, or made it out before the storm hit.
One more dead person among us. If Mitya's theory is right, then what Odette told me seems a lot more relevant. It's just, at the time, we had no reason to think there was more than one dead person. If only we'd taken it more seriously as a possibility, maybe this could have been avoided.
I'm sorry. This is my fault. I had information that could have been helpful, but I held back. I should have brought it up right away.
I'm partly to blame as well. I was too quick to dismiss Odette's concerns.
What is this about? What have you two been getting up to behind my back?
Sounds like there's some big news you've been keeping from the rest of us. Well, we're all ears. I'm the dead person? Wow, that's certainly news to me.
Odette and I talked about it yesterday, but we thought it just wasn't possible, so we left it at that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. If I'd been there, I probably would have reached the same conclusion. It just sounds too unbelievable. Let me just try and verify this. I just scoured my memories trying to think back to the afternoon Miss Odette mentioned. But I honestly have no recollection of dying. That's where I'm different than Mr. Shram.
Having seen Mr. Mitya a few days ago myself, I also find it hard to believe he could be the other dead person among us.
Well, if it isn't Mitya, then who? Do we vote on it?
If you don't mind me asking, Traveler, I believe you mentioned that you know Tonya's brother. Had you ever met her before all this?
No, never. Wait, are you saying...
Now just 1 minute. I know where this is going. You can't just randomly point a finger at anyone you want. You're in the hot seat, and all of a sudden you want to divert our suspicions onto somebody else?
Trying to pick a fight, Mr. Chuganov? Whenever you open your mouth, all you do is attack people, and I've had enough of it. If you don't want to engage in a civil discussion, you can shut up.
You little brat!
Did Mitya ask about Tonya because he suspects her? I suppose I only identified her by age and nothing else. Could that mean...
I'm just saying. You're going around casting suspicion on people for no reason. How could Tonya be dead? I can vouch for her, if nothing else. I've seen her before. She's the sister of that Harbinger, isn't she? The one called Child.
Oh, really? You're telling the truth?
Since being here, I don't think I ever mentioned she was Child's sister specifically. Does Chuganov actually know her?
If Chuganov can vouch for her, then it can't be Tonya either. In which case, it seems unlikely that there's another dead person among us at all. Miss Odette, could you go over that afternoon with me one more time, when you found me dead?
No problem.
Huh. No matter how hard I try, I just can't remember anything about dying. But I do remember something else. Miss Vojanitsa, during our last meal together, I told you how some of the researchers were suffering from temporary memory loss. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. You said it was hindering the progress of your experiments. You thought they were just under too much stress or something.
Right. And even though I don't remember dying that day, I'm pretty sure I experienced something like amnesia. Some of my memories from that afternoon are missing.
Are you suggesting you're missing the memory of your...
Of course. How am I only just realizing this? Humans aren't necessarily aware of their own death.
You mean being silently assassinated, or dying in your sleep? Situations like that?
The researcher's amnesia. Suddenly it all makes sense. I must thank you, Odette. I think your perspective just helped me reach a breakthrough on a series of issues that have been troubling me for quite some time. All right. It's decided then. I'll be the one to leave today.
Oh, leave? Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you rushing into this? What if you're wrong? You'll pay with your life.
Come on, kid. Aren't you gonna fight for your life? This seems like a rash decision.
I have other reasons beyond what's been discussed. In fact, thinking back, I remember during Miss Odette's performance, while I was sitting in the audience stalls, a brilliant new idea for my research popped into my mind. But then, my train of thought suddenly cut off. I can't remember it now at all, and I didn't take any notes. I guess that must be another instance of temporary amnesia.
No. Hold on. I see where you're going with this. You're suggesting that each instance of temporary amnesia is a death, right? There's a glaringly obvious flaw in that idea, no? How can one person die so many times?
I believe Miss Odette's account. During the period where my memory is blank, I must have been either dead or in a similar state. All it would take is for the same thing to happen in the theater, and I would come under the effect of the ley lines in this vicinity. This increases the likelihood of me being the deceased, does it not?
But...
There's no evidence to suggest that anyone other than me is a candidate for the deceased. So allow me, as a scientist, to treat this as an experiment. Please relax, everyone. I don't think things are as bad as they may seem. If I really am the deceased, then to leave the theater will be a relief for me. If, on the other hand, I'm still alive right now, well, apparently you've all witnessed my resurrection recently anyway. Who's to say I won't return from the dead again this time?
Mitya's right. This is the only thing we can try right now. I think he's deliberately downplaying the gravity of the situation, though. He probably doesn't want to burden everyone.
What is a scientist if not someone who gambles on experiment after experiment in an attempt to obtain the truth? With this snowstorm, the ley line phenomenon, ghosts of the dead, and my amnesia, we've been paralyzed by not knowing and powerless to do anything about it. It's a terrible feeling. But if I do get resurrected, you can be sure that I'll come back with the truth of all this. Just you wait.